Hi, my name is Haley Arrowood, and this is my research video on the topic Interrogate the Truth. So for my visual personality, I'm going to go with a sketchy, kind of like the whiteboard animatics that you see on YouTube all the time. So I'm going to focus on clean lines with a lot of line work, and I'm going to use color very sparingly to help draw attention to the more important aspects that I want to highlight. So for my types of motion, I think I'm going to harken back to my animatic class and do a lot of focusing on the squash and stretch. I found these videos which were kind of similar, the main one on the bottom which focuses a lot on the squash and stretch to turn everything into what it needs to be. I don't know yet if I'm going to use the hands as much. I think I'm just going to focus on the animatic itself, as I find the hands personally distracting. So the visual message, the brief, had a really good synopsis of it. So Jeffrey Boyke basically just wants to bring attention to the social inequalities that are currently in our curriculum, and how the historical narratives and distortions need to be explored, interrogated, and challenged, because we don't really have a school system that does that. So my visual goals, I broke the speech into multiple sections. So for this one, I want to kind of zoom into an old West town that's going to like pop up from the ground as he's saying 19th century. So when he starts talking about industrialization in the West, I'm going to have a bulldozer kind of come through and knock the buildings down, and behind it, it's going to be more modern buildings to show that, hey, the old is going away, the new is coming in, we gotta change. So here I'm going to zoom into a building. I'm not sure which one yet because I don't have my storyboard, but it's going to zoom into a building and we're going to see that it's built up of all these layers of society. We're going to have a homeless person because with industrialization comes more homelessness as prices go up, everything becomes more expensive, and oftentimes it's harder to find good, a good job. So, sticking with the tiered structure society thing, this one's going to slowly pan down the different structures that I have and show we have the rich person, the middle family, the poor people, and we're going to see that as it gets down, there's more and more people on each layer. So when it talks about shaping your own argument, I'm going to have a couple mouths doing speech bubbles, and each bubble is going to start out the same, but then they're going to warp into different shapes to show that everybody has their own unique idea. In this, we're going to take a chisel to it and kind of hit it like you would to try and break a rock for like old-time carving. And we're going to see like one cracks, one doesn't, one shorter shifts but then bounces back to show that how everybody has a different reaction to interrogating their ideas. Some people see that their idea fully cracks, some people see that their idea is strong and stable, and others kind of get swayed away but then bounce back to their original plan. So I was a little confused on what to do with this part. As I said, I have aphantasia, so it's a whole lot harder for me to picture things. But fostering a spirit to me means growth. You want to be able to grow, you want to learn, you want to change. So I'm using a watering can and some seeds for this. Now for this one, for interrogating the accepted truths, norms, status quo line, I'm going to have the tree grow out of the seeds, and on different branches is going to be hanging fruits that say status quo, norms, and stuff like that. And then one of those is going to fall off, and it's going to warp into a scale. And the scale is going to sway back and forth until it ends up being equal when he says, can we make things better or fairer?